Hey guys, I'm going to be making a farmhouse paper bag junk journal. It's going to probably be a naked junk journal, but I'm going to be making a matching envelope to go with it. So I have the paper bag here and I lined it with cardstock just to give it a little bit of sturdiness, and I'm going to sew around it and make this a pocket on the inside. And then for the matching clutch bag that it'll hold, I'm using a piece of parchment paper that I use to coffee dye my papers, and I just tore around the edges using a tear ruler, just around all four edges, just to give it that teared look. I also covered around, did it around the matching paper, tore around it with the edge ruler as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer this up, and I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and sew this as well. And this is how I make the matching bags. So we might have to make some adjustments because it may not fit totally, but so we'll just fold it over, and this should fit here with extra room where you could either cut it off or you could use it and you could put another envelope in here of your ephemera. I'm going to leave it like this because I like them long and wide. So and this is tissue paper. So it's a little bit very light and very tearable, and I'm gonna tear off a little bit more because I want more of the parchment paper to be showing. And it doesn't have to be even because it's a junk journal and nothing is perfect. There we go. Just so we have a little bit of that showing there. And I will sew around this. So I'm going to sew around both edges. I'm going to pull this out a little bit here. So I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and show you what it looks like. Be right back. Okay, so we're back and it's all sewed up. And this is what it looks like. And the crunchiness of the paper is coming from the parchment paper, not the tissue paper. Now, if you wanted to, you could Mod Podge this down to make sure it stays. I didn't do that with my other one, and it seemed to be just fine. We could always decide that later. This is the journal that I'm going to be doing. I just started it. I didn't really get anywhere with it yet. Now we just want to make sure that it's going to fit in here, which it is. And then we can make a closure for this. And that's what we'll do. So now that I know that this fits and we have the matching bag, we're all set to go ahead and make the journal. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out some papers for the journal, and I will be back. Okay, so I got my paper picked out for the journal, and I have 15 pages picked out. I typically like to go with 15, but I got 15 and an envelope. So I wasn't going to do an envelope, but I am. And I'm probably going to sew around this. So I'm actually going to just take one of my cheap glue sticks just to glue this down. Looks like I'm running out. I am running out, so I got to get another glue stick. So let's take this one. And we'll use these as, I'll have to glue some of that as well, because coffee dyeing it, let it a little bit loose. So we'll secure it like that. A little securing. There we go. So these are the pages that I picked out. And I typically like to go with, well, I actually picked this cardstock page out just because it was in my stash and it is cracking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sew a piece of fabric to keep it intact. So I will be right back. I got to go to my sewing machine and I can't bring you with me because it's on the other side of the room. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I sewed it this way and I left it like this just in case I wanted to put anything in the sides over here on here. I may not, but it is now sewn and the fabric will hold up the 3 pamphlet hole stitch when I do that, when I get ready to do that. So we'll put the pages in order. And like I said, I typically go dark. So we'll start with the dark. We'll go light. And the pages I like to do, I like them to be all different sizes. Longer, shorter, wider. Let me do this one. This one's going to be a fold out. It might be a pocket. I'm not sure yet. Do this one on the other side because that folds out as well. This one to fold out too. I don't know if it's just going to be a fold out or if it's going to be another pocket. I kind of wanted to do this one as a naked junk journal, but I don't know. Sometimes I start off doing them as naked junk journals and they turn out to not be. This one I thought about making a pocket on both pages as well, but I don't know yet. This page was one of my pages that I used to do some of my mixed media. So it is craft paper, and it's got just whatever I did is on that. So you could put any kind of paper in here. I'll do a little bit of music paper. We'll add in this, no, not the, yeah, we'll add in the envelope, why not? Let's add in the envelope. Let's do a little bit of tree book, some nature. We'll do another white page. Then we will do another coffee dye flip out. And last but not least, every page, every journal should have an Ideals magazine in here as the middle page. But we forgot about this, so we got to stick that somewhere. And I'm just looking to see where I want to put it. I think I'm going to put it right here. Now we want to see if this fits, because sometimes we need to trim off. After cutting them, they extend. So this does need to be cut off a little bit. But what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to sew this cardstock down. And once again, my sewing machine is on the other side of the room, so I will be back. Okay, so we're back, and I stitched around the cover, and I did leave this open here because I want to be able to put a journal card in here, and this inside is going to be a pocket. So those were left open, and I did trim down some of the pages to fit within the book. So when we sew it in, it's not sticking out. Now we might have some stuff sticking out because I might add tabs or clusters to the ends, which is fine. But the book itself, I just wanted to make sure that all the pages were within the book. And remember, there's a lot of pages in here. Normally you should do about 10. I did 16. So what I do after that is I will take the pages, paper clip them. I'm not going to sew them in right away. I'm going to think about what pages I need to sew to make pockets. And I typically will go through each page and decide what I'm going to do before I do it. So that's where I am right now. So I'm going to think about that and see what I'm going to make pocket pages, so what I'm going to sew, and I will be back and show you what I've done. I decided while I'm going through my pages to see what I'm going to sew and what I'm not going to sew. I decided to see what I'm going to put on the ends of them, if I'm going to put lace or not, which I put lace on one of them, and I'm putting the sequence trim that I had gotten at a thrift store. Haven't used it yet, so I'm putting that on the envelope. I just thought it would look cute. I sewed the inside of the envelope, and being that the theme is really white and black with coffee dyed, I am going to put this on both sides. So I just figured I'd bring you along to watch for this one, because I don't need to be on the other side of my room to do any sewing. I'm using Fabri-Tac to hold it down because I'm not really sure what the material is. I know it's some type of sequence, and it feels a little bit like leather. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. And any excess that's hanging over, I'll get once it's dried. Like that one just needs to come off. And I'm doing it down on a napkin so I don't get it on my work surface. And then I'll just put that with the pages that I feel are complete. I don't think I'll be using that anymore. These I already sewed up. I am going to use these as a pocket, but I do want to put something on here because I had to fold it in to make it shorter without cutting off the page. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of lace. And I'm going to do the same lace I did on the other page. And we have to do 2 of them, so let's just... While I have the Fabri-Tac out. See which one is the right side. And I like having fabric, I like having the lace stick out on certain pages, like maybe every 3 pages. I think it just brings something to the journal. And again, I'll cut off that excess later. Make sure it didn't stick. See which one is the right side. I think it's this one. I use the silicone. I used to use this for my glass etching. Now I use it for my Fabri-Tac, not to stick to my fingers, even though it still does. There we go. And I'm liking that page. This I was keeping the same. This I wasn't sure if I was going to make it a pocket or if I was going to sew around it. I decided to just put a whale tail punch on it, so I do need to sew that down. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this over to my sewing machine and I will be back. Okay, so I sewed on the tab. We'll put that with that. This page is going to stay the same. We're going to leave this like that as well. I'm going to sew on another tab here. See if there are any other pages I want to sew a tab on. Nope, this will be the last one I sew the tab on. So again, I have to bring this over to my sewing machine before that dries up. And I will go ahead and sew that probably right there. Back to my sewing machine on the other side of the room. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're back and everything is sewn on or put on to the pages. And let's just take a quick look at what we have so far. The next thing we'll have to do is embellishments. I'm going to definitely need a tag here or a journal card. Some type of tag or journal card here. Journal card here. And that's why I like to have journal cards and tags. The base is made and done in advance. This way it's 1, 2, 3. I could, you know, coordinate to what my journal is at the time. The middle of our signature, which is that ideals page. We're going to need another journal card here for the envelope. I'd like to put a belly band on one of the pages. Something, this is a tuck, so something sticking out of that. Another pocket, so tag or a journal card for there. I like the way the lace looks. And there you have it. We have it there. So now all we have left to do is bind this into the journal. We're also going to need a journal card for in here and one for in here as well, with all the other embellishments for here. And then we are all set to go. So I'm going to go ahead and call this part 1 because I have to get my Father's Day dinner going. And I may be back later, I may not, it may be tomorrow, but this is what we have so far. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And until part 2, I will see you then, and you guys all enjoy Father's Day today. Have a great one. Bye.